Miami and the 49ers, I mean, what I kept coming back to, Bonte, was, wow, is this going to be Sam Weiss and Bill Walsh meeting up in the Super Bowl? Is this going to be McDaniels, the protege, going up against the master, the Jedi master versus his apprentice, his Padawan in Mike Daniels? Is that what we're lining up to see?
Yeah, maybe, but we're not in October yet, but you're starting to see the cream rise to the top.
I mean, they did that without Jalen Waddle.
I know, without Jalen Waddle. And they had Sean Payton saying this in his opening remarks yesterday in his press conference after the Broncos, and we'll get to the historical aspect of what happened down in South Beach yesterday. Here's Sean Payton opening presser remarks.
That was embarrassing and tough to watch. Aside from the kick return, there weren't a lot of positives to take from that game. We had our opportunities offensively early, 2 penalties, take touchdowns off the board, and I don't know that. I think they punted 1 time. So, any questions?
Any questions? And then here's a nice little back and forth there.
I know that you said it's embarrassing, but this has kind of an historic game.
I'm more.
Third time the team has scored 70 points, over 700.
What's the question? What's the question?
How do you feel about it being
I just finished telling you.
Historically embarrassing.
Next question.
This guy's ego is so out of control.
Third team to ever score 70 points in an NFL football game. The Miami Dolphins do it.
To watch.
It's tough to watch. September 2022. This is a great tweet from Alejandro Solana. September 2022. Sean Payton rips Tua Tagovailoa and says he'll be benched for Teddy Bridgewater. Now, he said this probably on the Colin Cowherd show or somewhere on Fox
He was working
Sports.
for Fox.
Yeah. Tua yesterday started 16-16, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 35 points and a half against Sean Payton.
Tua looks incredible, and Mike McDaniels feels like not only has he unlocked that entire team, I think most reasonable fans were like, oh, Tyreek Hill going to Miami, this is a year and a half ago, right?
Right.
His career is going to be pretty much, said and done. He's seen the highest of heights. How has he gotten better?
Oh, he's gotten better because Mike McDaniels knows how to use them. They're the number 1 team when it comes to pre-snap motion and all the window dressing that you do. And they move Tyreek Hill around to where you can't get a clean jam on him. And he's running wide open half the time. I mean, just not even close.
I mean, him and they lose Gesicki. Gesicki was solid for them. And you're thinking to yourself, I don't know. They don't really have a number 1 running back. And Mostert looks great. Tua looks phenomenal now.
Tua looks great, healthy. He's throwing an accurate
Tua,
football.
If you were envisioning the best version of Tua, he threw to superstar wide receivers in college. He's doing it right now.
That's the guy I fell in love with at Alabama.
Yes.
Remember that, Shasky?
Yes.
I was like, man, this guy can throw a spiral. Now he got beat up, and I wonder about his size. I still wonder about him holding up over a 17-game season. But if he is healthy, he is capable of doing this with all these weapons. Dolphins gained 726 yards.
Video games.
Second most in NFL history, trailing only the 1951 Rams against the Yanks. All right? Third highest scoring game in the league. No team has scored 70 since 1966.
I know you have your own feelings about the Sacramento Kings, all right, but suspend those feelings for just a moment.
I like the Kings.
Seeing that, the Dolphins have a much richer history than the Kings, but they've been pretty irrelevant like the Kings were in basketball for over a decade.
Right.
I'm happy to see Miami relevant again in football.
I love the Dolphin uniforms.
Right?
I do. Right?
They're fun.
Watching all those years with Dan Marino and Don Shula at Joe Robbie Stadium, and you see the way they've reconstructed Hard Rock Stadium, and it's a vibe down there in Miami.
Absolutely.
They love their Dolphins. And when they start doing the Waddle dance when he's healthy, Tyreek Hill, and they wear those all whites at home. They always wear those white jerseys at home because it's hot. I love when they wear their all whites at home. You know me, I'm a sucker for that stuff. Miami's a rich tradition. They're a blue blood organization. The NFL's better when they're better. And luckily for them, the schedule makers don't have them going to Buffalo in the month of December. They got them going to Buffalo next week. So that's must-watch TV, which is why I may have to stay home and just watch the Niners-Cardinals because I need to watch Buffalo and the Dolphins to see what's going on there. Jay LaFrey, you're right. That shovel pass, when they had Tyreek Hill,
sick.
I've never seen anything like that. Mike McDaniel is in his bag, and you know it was personal for them. When Sean Payton is talking and chirping and all that stuff before the season and taking shots at Nathaniel Hackett, and you look at his team at 0-3, and they can't move the football. They scored 69 points this season. Miami scored 70 yesterday. So that was obviously one of the biggest takeaways of the day.
Are they, I want to get to Jimmy G in a second. Are they headed for a divorce?
Who's that?
Russ and Sean Payton.
After 1 year?
Yeah, after 3 games.
After 3 games.
What do you like?
I don't know. It was tough to watch.
They owe him $160 million.
I know.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
What's Seattle doing right now?
Well, this is the
What's
other part.
Pete Carroll doing?
Well, I'm
Laughing?
glad that you bring that up. Pete Carroll has been elevated since divorcing
No doubt.
Russell Wilson. Now I look at Pete Carroll and I elevate him even more, right? I said this to the boys. Is Geno Smith going to have a better end of his 5-year career than Russell Wilson?
He might.
Is Russell Wilson playing himself out of the Hall of Fame?
Ooh.
I'm taking a Spadoni take and filing it under my own.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I didn't think about it like that because he's a borderline guy. He's a borderline guy. By the way, it's a Monster Monday brought to you by First 5 California. To learn 4 things you can do to overcome toxic stress, go to first5california.com. I would recommend that for Sean Payton. I would recommend that for every single Cowboy fan out there. I would recommend that for Raider fans who have to sit there through Josh McDaniel and Jimmy Garoppolo. Now,
to watch.
Why are you kicking a field goal there?
Yeah,
You can't stop a nosebleed for a decade.
You can't defend that. You got 3 timeouts. You're down 8 points. Even if you don't get it, you're in the same situation.
Adams. I watched Aaron Rodgers on whatever it was, 4th and forever, throw a layered ball. Remember that Sunday night, Monday night game, whatever the hell it was? Like, you've got Devontae.
You got Devontae Adams. I mean, Devontae Adams looked depressed last night talking to the media. His face, and by the way,
he's an all-time player.
He's an all-time player who may not last this season due to the medicine balls Jimmy Garoppolo likes to throw.
Oh, my God.
He almost got him killed to start the second half. Poor Devontae Adams.
How is that not hitting a defenseless receiver, though, in this modern era? I understand it's a clean hit, but, like, this is where I don't understand the rules because it feels like 9 out of 10 times that's a hit on a defenseless player.
Right. Well,
he got blasted.
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo was getting blasted. He didn't talk to the media yesterday. He had to go through concussion protocol. Probably played through a concussion yesterday with the shots he took
and
yesterday.
His ankle got folded.
The way he's pointing downfield, going deep, throwing the other. He's making rookie mistakes. And now I know.
The throw underneath.
And this is where I go to Shanahan, right? All the ripping of Shanahan we've done and all the praise we've given him, I see why he aged 15 years during the Jimmy G tenure. I'm stressed out watching Jimmy G. He's not even on my team anymore.
Is it Jimmy G or Jimmy
I'm rooting for the guy, and I find myself, everything is the Minnesota game on a loop where he just doesn't see the field. And I'm thinking about, like, honestly, I would like for the boss to come in here and apologize to me for my original Jimmy Garoppolo opinions.
No, that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair because that was his first postseason game. I'll go to bat with that. It was his first postseason game, and that Minnesota defense was good. But you look at Jimmy G.
Was last night his first primetime game?
Well, of the season?
I mean, Jesus, he looked like a guy who's not prepared.
Well, I'm looking at a guy who's making rookie mistakes.
Yeah.
He's throwing the oh-no throws again. The Jimmy oh-no throws and an experience in a throw that's unlike any other in America. When he does it.
To the left side.
Yeah, and threw an interception to the right side.
It was like a 3 flies up. Like, what was that?
All the sneak dissing he did with Kyle Shanahan. He did. And look, I'm glad Jimmy Garoppolo finally spoke up for himself. But when you start talking like that, and Shanahan classback was like, well, we did make him the highest paid quarterback at the time.
Which is factually correct.
And you're thinking, boy, the Niners did make him the highest paid quarterback at the time. And boy, we passed up all these quarterbacks for that guy. Like Raider fans, right? And then you got the head coach.
The head coach, I think, is the biggest problem.
Worse.
I think he's the biggest problem. I look at LaFleur, right? Look at what LaFleur's doing with Jordan Love. And it doesn't look perfect. But he plays to that guy's strengths, right? And it feels like the two of them are in it together. And you could say, oh, well, LaFleur inherited X, Y, and Z. Fine. McDaniels has been there long enough. He's got his guys in there. You got Josh Jacobs and Devontae. These are all pro-level players, correct?
Jacoby Myers ain't bad.
No, he's actually really good.
He's really good.
And this kid, Michael Mayer, a lot of people would sign up for that guy. A lot of people would. And they've got Colton Miller. They've got players. Offensively, they've got
players.
How do you look like a team that struggles to score 20 every week?
Well,
every week.
And another big takeaway is TJ Watt's running away with DPOY. I'm starting the Fred Warner campaign, but it's going to be tough to overcome TJ Watt. He's already got 6 sacks. He's already got 6 sacks, and he is dominating football games.
They brought in an extra tackle to play tight end, and then slid him over, and then it was one-on-one, and he just went right around him.
Right around him. So Josh McDaniels is not a head coach. He's not head coaching material. And Mark Davis does it to himself again with the bad coaching hire.
You're telling me McDaniels wasn't the reason Tom Brady was great. It was Tom Brady. No.
Did anybody say that?
No.
Did anybody think
well, that's why he keeps getting jobs.
Right. I don't get why he's getting
And you know
jobs.
what we'll do next? We'll do it to Bill O'Brien at some point.
Yeah, no doubt. But here's the thing. After watching all that, McDaniel, Garoppolo, you're watching the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy, which I told Guru all the time. You hired Mike McCarthy. I can't take you serious. And God bless Mike McCarthy, but I can't take you seriously when you have him as your head coach and Jerry Jones as your owner. You're going to find a way to come up short. All right, so you got that going on. Derek Carr gets hurt. Now, the Packers are a good team. Look out for the Packers. They haven't even been healthy yet, and they're 2-1. But it just proved to me how good we have it as Niner fans.
Oh,
With John Lynch and Kyle
Yeah,
Shanahan.
I
The
agree.
structure that they have. You watch Minnesota and the Chargers and Braden Staley and Kevin O'Connell. They're trying to like, hey, I'll show you how to lose.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to lose. Kirk Cousins, please keep him away from my organization. The Niners have it so damn good right now, and I'm happy they extended John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. You have stability. We know what they're about. We know the Niners are going to be in a race, in the mix for a championship, and you look at all these other teams around the league. There's like 6 good. I'll grant you 6. Do you want to throw the Cowboys in there? I'll throw the Bills in there.
I just throw them in there.
Whatever.
Because I respect their defense.
But like you look at Jacksonville, and you're like, how do you come out that flat against the Houston Texans?
They're still a very young team.
And you're laying duds like that. You lose back-to-back home games. You look at a team like Baltimore losing. We'll see about Cincinnati today.
Yeah.
I don't. We've got it good out here in the
No
Bay
doubt.
Area,
And
man.
I wrote down some statistics on Shanahan that I want to get into at some point today. You bring up Mike McCarthy, and you don't think he's very good.
I don't think he's all that.
Okay,
I think he's a mediocre head coach.
Okay, so Peyton won, I believe, in 08 or 09, the
Right.
Super Bowl. Since then, he has 5 playoff wins.
Right.
Okay, 2010 was when they won the Super Bowl, the Green Bay Packers. How many playoff wins for Mike McCarthy in 2 different locations?
Since then, I would guess 4.
5.
5.
They're the same coach.
Same coach.
So I know everybody wants to rip Mike McCarthy. Sean Payton's the same guy.
Yeah.
It's just quirkier and more arrogant.
No, just Sean Payton's a joke. Again, here's Sean Payton in his opening
So
remarks.
like and I'm not saying I respect Mike McCarthy, but
Right.
what I'm saying
No,
is
I
keep
respect-
the same energy for Sean Payton.
I respect all these guys. I just don't think they're that good.
I'm with you.
I
I'm
don't
with
think
you.
they're good.
And it's
Sean
turning
Payton,
to the tide.
You know, it is a turning of the tide. It's
I'm with
out
you.
with the old
That I
and
agree
with the
with.
new. And the new thing is Shanahan, McDaniel, McVay. Got to give Sirianni some credit.
Yeah.
We'll be watching Philadelphia today.
I'm going to be watching Philly.
We're going to be
very
watching
closely.
very closely. We're scouting because there's still a lot of chirping going out there. A lot of chirping coming out there from their radio hosts who likes to call guys idiots
I'm
and tag
done
us all the time.
talking about
You know, the guy,
Tough to watch.
what's the coach from Oregon's name? Lanning?
Yeah.
I respect him coming over from Georgia as a D coordinator, and he's talking about Colorado's playing for clicks, we're playing for wins, or you're getting clipped left and right. That's what Philadelphia's doing now. I'm up to their game. Whenever there's a fight in the stands, they want to tag us. The irrelevant radio host who keeps tagging us and calling us idiots and calling us out of our name, who used to be a soccer blogger, he's doing it for clicks. He's thirsty.
He was a soccer blogger.
He was a soccer blogger. He's looking for attention, and I'm not even going to mention his name because it's not even worth it. He's irrelevant.
I mean,
to
I'm
me.
over
You know,
it.
I'm over it. But I just like, okay, you keep clipping us. Your tweets don't get any traction. What you're doing is not working. So go ahead and clip the guys for San Francisco and keep getting clicks on Twitter because you need attention. Anyway, a lot to go on
I
here.
want to get into the offensive thing because I'm watching around the league. It's really hard to score for certain teams. And I look at what the 49ers have done. Mike McDaniels is
Right.
another example. McVay. We're lucky. We're really lucky,
very lucky
with what we have.
Well, I charted 11 teams in this league that may be looking for a quarterback next season.
Oh, I have more
And
than
there may be
18.
more. Well, I got 11.
So you have
'cause
11, I have 18.
I got 11
Okay.
because I think some guys are going to stick. Like, I didn't add Kenny Pickett with Pittsburgh yet because there's still TBD.
I think the jury's out, but okay.
Carolina,
Okay.
Bryce Young, TBD. Anthony Richardson, TBD.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
some of these
you're
teams
right.
are
You're
stalled
probably
out.
right.
I stalled out, but we'll